Hey guys, Geoff Rohoman here for 680 News. You know who I'm talking to. I would argue that he's probably the most popular guy in Toronto. We're talking NBA champions. We're talking coach of the year, head coach of the Toronto Raptors. Nick Nurse joins me right now. Nick, thanks so much for doing this.
Hey, thanks for having me on. Great to talk to you.
Yeah, for sure. And Nick, you got a book out. This is why we're going to talk. It's called Rapture. 15 teams, 4 countries, 1 NBA championship, and how to find a way to win damn near anywhere. The book is available now pretty much wherever books are sold. So I encourage people to go out and get it. For those of us that, are looking to get it, Christmas is right around the corner, whatnot. Talk to me about this book, because it's not just like a basketball like autobiography. It's kind of like a philosophical take on life almost, I guess.
Well, it's a little bit part memoir, part leadership, part, forging your own path or looking at somebody else's path and seeing where you can learn some things from it, and a little bit of basketball in there, right? We're coaching the Raptors and we had a championship season, so we'll take you behind the scenes a little bit for some of that as well. But really enjoyed writing it, and glad that it's out and hitting the market right now.
Absolutely. I got to think that when you're sort of brainstorming what you want to include in the book, like, do things pop up that you hadn't thought about in, like 15, 20, 30 years that you're like, oh yeah, like that was a key part of my life that I completely forgot?
You know what's interesting? Really good question. What's interesting is that is exactly like that. Things you totally forgot. And then the clarity and how vivid you can kind of see some of those things, and like literally in timeouts of some games in England and seeing sweat running down the face of the players, things that really pop up in these vivid things that you're trying to recall. So yeah, it was interesting. Lots of stories got left out or trimmed out or whatever, but we wanted to kind of keep it moving and fast-paced book, and touch on a lot of different areas and countries and teams that are coached.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, we can always include those stories in part 2 after you win a couple more championships with the Raptors, right? Like, I'm just saying.
There you go. That's for sure. You do it.
I want to talk about the forward, because that's a pretty impressive, name that wrote the forward for this book in Phil Jackson.
Well, luckily, Alex McKechnie, who's our director of sports science for the Raptors, worked for Phil Jackson for 5 years with the Lakers, and connected us and said, you want to go out and see Phil? And I talked to Phil, went out and spent 3 days with him out in Montana, and we hit it off a little bit. He was kind of my mentor back in the 90s. He didn't know it, and I never met him until 2 summers ago. But yeah, he was gracious enough to write it, and that's very kind of him.
Yeah, that's awesome. Again, the book is called Rapture, 15 teams, 4 countries, 1 NBA championship, and how to find a way to win a whole damn near anywhere. We don't want to give away too much of the book because we want people to go and buy it. But one of the things that I thought was really interesting was when you went over your time working in, the UK, and specifically one famous guy that sort of came and worked out with you. And I'm talking about Dennis Rodman, who played a couple games for you. Now, I'm sure you've seen The Last Dance. We've all seen The Last Dance. I want to know, did he ever do the bap, bap, bap over here thing with you that he did in that documentary?
He did not. He played 3 games for us. The interesting part about it was he was in Celebrity Big Brother, the television show, and about 40 million people a night were watching. It was a huge hit in England. And so when we did sign him, it was such a big deal. We had something like 190 press credentials for the games, and excuse me, there's normally about 3 for a normal British basketball game. So we had 190. It was really a popular thing. He was a great guy, big-hearted guy. He played great and was quite the show to put on, for sure.
Amazing. And like you talked about, you said, there is some basketball in this, but there's a lot of like sort of Nick Nurse in this too. Music, I know, is a big thing in your heart. We just saw you play the keyboards with Max from the Arkells.
Yeah.
I nearly fell out of my chair. I think you did an interview where you were asked like what your theme song would be, and you said "Welcome to Jam Rock" by David Marley, which was amazing. An answer I did not expect, but loved it. Talk to me about like why music is such a big part of your life, and sort of like your life philosophies and even coaching philosophies.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like a lot of people. I'm just a huge fan, right? When I was growing up or traveling through Europe, I just love to watch live gigs and live music. And, even at our practices, we have a DJ just man, to get things going, right? The music puts the pep in your step and gets the energy flowing. I like to learn music just for my own enjoyment. I think it expands some creativity, hopefully that pushes towards my professional career, my job, helps me thinking creatively for the Raptors. Just so many things that are great about music, and I like to dabble in all of it.
For sure. I got to ask what you're listening to right now.
I'm listening to Eric Clapton, 1977, the album Slow Hand.
Amazing.
That's what's on my turntable as we speak. So there you go.
Fantastic. And are you you're in your office right now with the turntable and all that?
I am, yeah.
Amazing. Those are goals. Just getting back to basketball, one of the stories that I thought was really neat. Again, I don't want to give away too much of the book Rapture. We want people to go out and buy it, but where the play was drawn up for the big Kawhi 3 and even the OG 3 this past season. Tell me about where you learned that play from, because I thought this was really neat.
Yeah, well, I returned from England and was getting ready to coach in the NBA Development League. It's now called the G League, with the Iowa Energy. And I thought I better study NBA basketball a little bit. There was a company right up the road from where I was living in Ames, Iowa, called Championship Book and Video. And I ordered, I think it was eight or nine DVDs of all the NBA tapes they have. Mostly they have college coaches and volleyball and baseball and all kinds of stuff, but they had 8 or 9 NBA coaches, and I ordered them all. And Greg Popovich, Stan Van Gundy, Mike Fratello, and one of them was Hubie Brown, the great coach, Hubie Brown. And there was some end of game plays on there. And as I was taking notes, I said, "Well, that's a good one. I'm gonna start using that one and use it." I think I've either tied up or won about 10 games in my career just off that similar play and the options that come off it.
Amazing. Like, that's such a cool story for me. Again, all of these stories are in his book Rapture, which is available now wherever books are sold. I just got to ask you a couple more questions. One, I think the guy is amazing. What is it like working with Masai Ujiri?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, listen, for me, it's fascinating to see guys at the top of their game and how they operate and how they move around and what they do just daily. Again, who they hang with, who they talk to, what they put into their minds positively, and he's the best, man. He's the best, and I owe a lot to him. We all do for what he's created here with the Raptors.
Absolutely. And then, we say it a lot, the GOAT as far as Toronto Raptors go. What's it like coaching Kyle Lowry?
Awesome. Yeah. Really a privilege. I always say that he plays harder than anybody I've ever seen on any court anywhere. And I can't give him a higher compliment than that. He gives the most effort and throws his body around, and the mental side, the physical side, the competitive side that he displays out there is, well, it's something to be able to sit there on the sidelines and watch it play out every night.
Absolutely. Like, my jersey right now, full disclosure, is a Kyle Lowry jersey. Like, I don't know if that's weird that I'm wearing, that I'm wearing another man's name on my back, but like, I'm happy with it.
That's good. I hope it inspires you to work hard and play hard every day, that just like he would do. Yeah.
Absolutely. I want to ask, because I've really wondered this for a long, long time. What does a Drake massage feel like?
Awesome. Very soft hands. Very soft. It's funny, but I didn't even realize he was doing it till the next morning, and it was blowing up on Twitter and all that stuff. I was so focused on the game, and I said I was either that focused or his hands are incredibly soft. But funny moment. Yep.
Absolutely. And like we said, Coach of the Year, NBA champion. Known throughout Canada, North America. You coached all over the place, known worldwide. Do you think you're known more for your coaching record and your resume, or do you think you're more known for the shocked face meme that people use all the time on social
media? Well, I would hope it was for my coaching record, but I'm not. I think that's debatable. It really is debatable.
All the time. And then my last question is, because I want to get back to a serious topic. There's a big election coming up in the States in a couple of weeks, and you've been really championing people in Canada that have the ability to vote to get out and vote, right?
Yeah. For sure. Geez, there's 650,000 United States citizens living here in Canada. In the 2016 election, just 5% of them voted, which is what we got to do better. The good news is that FVAP.gov says they're getting triple the amount of activity on their website than they're used to. So we're out there pushing. Credit to our players for out there pushing. Probably the most historic vote of our lifetime. So encourage everybody to get out there and vote if you're listening and you're a U.S. citizen.
Absolutely. He is the current head coach of the Raptors, reigning NBA Coach of the Year, NBA champion. Nick Nurse's new book, Rapture, 15 teams, 4 countries, 1 NBA championship, and how to find a way to win damn near anywhere is available now. Go out and buy the book. Coach Nurse, thank you so much for taking time out of your morning. I really appreciate it. And I just want to say, my in-laws, I don't want to get you in any trouble, but my in-laws are Greek. So if you need any lessons, learning the language, maybe in a year or two, just, hint, hint, wink, wink, they're available to teach.
I don't think I'm allowed to comment
No,
on that. I think I know what you're saying. I think I know what you're trying to say.
I'm not going to get you in any trouble, Coach Nurse.
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you so much for doing this.
All right.
I appreciate your time.
Take care.